Going back to the old me. Got some small teams action going here. I was hoping to get in on this, but this started up before I could get in. This is such a funny map. This is like... I'm not a MOBA guy, never played those, but my understanding is that this map comes from that world, which makes sense if you look at how it's laid out. And it is pretty goofy to play bar on that, I gotta say. I don't hate it, but I do think it's pretty funny. This map plays surprisingly well, though, actually, I will say. The one thing you need to do to make it playable is edge build radars on the hills, and then all these flank paths suddenly become a lot less dangerous because it's so much easier to see when something's coming in there. And if you don't do that, then you end up with things like this going unnoticed, right? But and yeah, Cowboy Quant here, reacting to this, but having no idea of the bigger picture, which is actually quite dangerous for our friend the Quant here. This is a game... Ooh, this actually has some potential. This is a game that should probably... I mean, who knows how long it'll last, but I do have a certain intuition. This definitely needs to be microed correctly. You want to keep these guys at max range for obvious reasons, but if you do that, and if you can do that, which probably means bringing some of them down and some of them over, right? Ooh, and not allowing this. You gotta split these guys. Ordinarily in bar, you don't gotta do split micro. This time you do. Good snipe. Now just keep going on in, you know? Just move them towards the base. Try to kill that eco. There's a forward lab here, so you actually can just... And I think they know about the forward lab even. Yeah, you see it. So you can assume this has been reclaimed and that you just have free reign. Unless red peels to help. But, blue not taking advantage of that opening and instead running to where they know the units are, trying to make their flanking force minimally useful and make sure that it can be killed as quickly as possible rather than taking out like the majority of the team's wins. Interesting decision. On the other side here, we see much less eco-scaling going on. It's kind of funny, this lane and this lane are both kind of forgetting to eco-scale, but like they're up against each other so it actually works out. It's like still a net zero. That's funny to see. Over here, yeah, this is, honestly, this is kind of scary for the Quant. This is not what you necessarily want to see happening. I mean, I think with reinforcements you'll, like, just barely hold on, but I wouldn't be surprised if this lab fell. And I Am a Pirate needs to be reclaiming this 1.63k metal. That's huge value that you just cannot... leave on the ground. You need to be spending that on units. And look at this stream of reinforcements coming through here. Really, really scary stuff. Even as... Man, oh, you could D-gun the lag. You could just keep walking forward and, like, take out the lab with D-gun. Honestly, like, why not? Do it, do it. I want you to do it so bad. Come on. There it is. Good play, good play. Now this is going to blow up and delete a lot of the wrecks from the damage, but then replace them with one more wreck. I wonder if that's in build turret range. Just barely not. That's rough. But with these reinforcements, you are going up against literally no units because there's no way to build units without rebuilding the lab, which is going to take a while. So there's no excuse to not walk these guys forward literally right now. You have a small window. It is closing. You need to seize it. Over here, good push going on. I like that we're doing two armies here because you have enough units to pull it off. Just checking over here to see if they pushed it, finally figuring it out. But I mean, literally the first thugs out of the rebuilt base are reinforcing the front before these guys can figure out how to walk forward. Baffling. You hit a win condition and then you just don't take it. I never understand it when that happens because it's like, you need to know that it was a win condition, right? You must know that because you went for it. And then you just don't follow up. Like, why not? Why not, buddy? Like, did you forget about winning? Are you done winning? Do you not want to win? Are you losing now? I don't get it. But, yeah. Blue actually doing a nice job taking metal spots all over the map and denying them on this side. And I like the torp launchers, I have to admit. I like these a lot. They do very high DPS. This is one thing. You know, when you see them used against boats, they might not look like they're doing high DPS, but boats have insane health. Look at that. They're two-shotting tanks. And surprisingly tanky as well. Let's see if we can take out this Janus. Well, we're not going to target it down, so no, we can't. But Probably coulda. But yeah, torpedo launchers, great bang for your buck in shallow water, as long as they're not going to get outranged. That's the big danger. Now, blue can get sniped here. Lots of Janus. Lots of Janus here, and that's a scary thing to see. I'm pretty sure they can go in the water, but I'm not sure this guy knows that. I mean, you must know that because you have some over here, right? But yeah, come on, man. That com was 1 HP. Could have done that. Still not pushing up to the lead. I don't know. I don't know. It's baffling. Maybe you want to get the reclaim first if you're trying to secure the reclaim field. You don't want to lose units until that reclaim's off the ground, because that would make it harder to hold the field, I'm guessing. Or maybe we're not thinking about it that hard. Maybe it's not that deep. But, I mean, I don't know. I never accept that as an answer. Things are always deeper than you think. And if you don't believe that, then you're not thinking hard enough. That's my opinion on the matter. But, yeah, this is kind of turning out to be a standstill. Red and blue going at it in mid. These shell shockers for sure gonna die here. I like this push from blue. This is really tricky to push into Janus, though. You could have microed that better. You want to send a few units out in front. You want to grab, like, 3 guys and split them out and then move them forward. And then they can pull... And I say 3 because that's, like, enough to cover the entirety of firing angles that you're going to see in mid. Oh, brutal. Going down. And with the comm right here, you could potentially... No, you don't want to die there. You don't want to make it 2 wrecks. Fair enough. This, I feel like, is still where the game needs to end. This is a game-ending force as soon as you... We're building an agitator here, man. You'd build an agitator before you'd walk forward. Baffling to me. I do like focusing on the Twin Guard. Of course, there is enough build power here to keep it up. But as soon as we start adding more damage into the mix, that might change. And yeah, this is... Gosh, I don't know. It's interesting to me that you don't go like this and walk around the turrets. You know, you don't need to walk through them. Like, is it like a gentleman's agreement? Like, I've heard in some old wars, they would just line up in rows and take turns shooting at each other. Like, I feel like I've heard that about the Civil War, but I don't know if that's true. But, like, that's what this reminds me of, is, like, they're both like, yes, there's flank angles, but we're not going to use them. That would be dishonorable. We couldn't possibly do that. I don't know. In any case, 2.45k metal on the ground here. Easily eatable. With this resbot that's right here. we probably want to clear the attack command on that guy. It's now shooting your own units. It's actually pretty funny. You can see it taking the high trajectory angle just to avoid friendly fire. It's pretty funny, actually. But yeah, the window to win the game with that push has passed. You could still potentially win the game with the next push if you eat this metal converted into units. But we need to see if the game ends over here first. This is enough Janus to just walk up and win. I would, like, spread them out, something like that, and then walk them in, just so that they don't all fire at once, right? You want them kind of, like, staggered. You could even do a thing like that, you know, where you kind of, like, do a thing where you stagger them out in a zigzag, and then walk them in. Oh, we've got lightning tanks. We've got Jaguars on the field. Yeah, this is GG. That's for sure gonna do it. Yeah, I am a pirate. Could have won the game, but didn't understand the situation that they were in, and now they're just gonna have to watch as their teammates fold under this inevitable pressure. This is really a tough one to hold. I mean, even with D-guns, you're not gonna stop this, I don't think. This is, or at least should be, GG. And I mean, looking at the economic situation, the metal is misleading because of reclaim, but the energy incomes don't lie, you know? It's a 2-to-1 lead in that regard, and that's only about to get more severe. Not even trying to degun here. We appear to have just given up on life. Incredible shot, just proving me wrong. You've regained the will to live, and you know what? I'm happy for you, bud. But you gotta be careful. You only have 1 life, and it is in danger. Mike Tesla pushing through mid. I keep thinking that's a Chuck Testa reference, but it's a completely different thing. You remember that guy, Chuck Testa? Nope. Maybe just me. But, yeah. Pushing in here. The crack at it is gonna get cracked at. Oh, just barely out of range here. I don't know why they wouldn't just send a few guys over to finish him off. But there you have it. That's the resign vote. Called and passed. And we'll see if I can get in on the next one. I would not mind
Battle.
playing some small teams. Let me get in here. Put me in, coach. Let's go.
You are now playing.
What's up? I say. Yeah, definitely I will vote for next map. Oh, not this one, man. This map is so bad. This map is real bad. And the lobby's falling apart. Looks like maybe we 1v1. What else do we have? If there was a new Glitters open, I would go to play it, even though I have it in the... Yeah, let's 1v1. Man, isn't that just the experience? Oh boy. It's a real slow night online today, actually. What's going on here? Like, the only lobby that's even close to starting is one that I'm gated out of by the rating limit. That's honestly such an annoying thing. Alright, FTL. This is a good map. A lot of ways to play this one. I don't know what I'm going to pick.
Please choose your starting location.
No wind here. I like
Battle started.
that there's specific fixed metal spots. Like, it's not one of those things where it's like, you know what I mean? Where some maps you can kind of choose where you put the metal on the spot, and this one is like more flexible than that. Yeah. Or less flexible. Man, I'm sorry. I'm like getting my words backwards. But yeah. You can tell I'm trying to engage my brain. I'm struggling. It's a lot of work sometimes. But here we go. One thing that I like, I don't know if it's actually good, is edge building my lab on the low ground. And I am not going to do it like right here, because I think that might be an artillery range from over there. I don't want to get it shelled, but I do want to get into mid faster, especially to deny edge building these mexes, if that's what my opponent is doing. So we're going to get a couple grunts out. One of those is defensive. It goes right here. The other one's going to go over here. And then once we have those, it's Conbot time. And I'm going to get the first Conbot out, and then I'm going to send my commander over to edge build these mexes for myself. And that should be a good start to the game. I'm going to make sure to keep building those things, the solars. And one Conbot will build those guys. Or actually, no, the first one's going to assist the lab. The second one will build those guys. It's a slow start so far. We are currently netting a surplus of energy, which is a good thing. But it's worth noting, it's like we don't actually need to keep building solars quite yet. And then, yeah, let's, make sure to handle that. I'm putting this guy here because that's most likely to be a radar dead spot, but I did not think it would work. It's just sometimes you do what you can, Throwing this up because I know that there's grunts out on the field for my opponent. If there were, for example, light tanks, I would not bother with this. But grunts, I think, do have to respect it. So we're going to get it. And, yeah, let's get some units out. And I think the big thing that I'm always paranoid about on this map is air, Airplay, bombers, gunships, things of this nature. Comm drops even. I've definitely seen. More so before the comm drop nerf. It's less common now, thankfully, which is a huge relief to anxious folks like myself. But yeah. Okay, let's see. That's probably the comm up here. No, it's a comm bot. Okay. Interesting. I had the numbers advantage, and I appear to have lost the fight anyway. I'd love to watch back the tape on that one, to be honest with you. I think I must have messed something up. It's this weird thing where sometimes target fire micro is, like, insanely OP, and then other times it actually just causes you to lose the fight. But it all... I'm not sure what it all comes down to be honest with you. But it comes down to something or other. That much is for sure. Now, you don't want to be late expanding out on that side. And so I will try not to be. But likewise over here, I mean, really, expanding all over the place is important. But you got to split your army to do so. And if you split your army, you could die on any given front, so it's just a matter of finding the right balance of that. And it's a bit goofy to be doing solars and energy converters because the metal to metal income conversion rate is just so, like, cartoonishly bad. But better than wasting energy, probably. I will also build a storage. A battery. Now let's see. Just making sure, taking stock of what has and hasn't been taken is basically what's happening right now. Okay, there's the cowboy. And if the comm's over there, then I'm going to walk over here. And 2 thugs is not enough for this to be scary. If there were more, I would be worried. But there aren't, so I'm not. And that's one case where, like, that line move command is such a dang nice thing to have. Just, like, some people say that you shouldn't need it, or that, strong players wouldn't use it. If you have the APM, then what's the point? That kind of a thing. Like, your fucking StarCraft types will say that. Which I can say because I am one. Recovering. And those people are just wrong, man. It's so nice to have. It's so nice to be able to be efficient with your clicks, do more with less. Just feels good. I will switch into thugs if that's what we're doing. And I will also note that we need to scale build power. This is one thing that I've been, like, continuously fucking up, like, the last day or two, is scaling my build power too slowly. So I'm going to try to do better this time on that. These guys, I can clear that order and just put you guys together on 5. And, yeah, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, there we go. get a radar up over there, right? It's nice that these guys cover the whole walkway.
Low
It's
power.
less nice that I'm sitting at 0 power. I don't love that. But a shitload of metal. This is a situation, I'll enunciate, where you would possibly think about going air. Personally, that's always just like the shittiest way to lose a game, in my experience, and so I feel bad doing that to others. But it is certainly like something you could consider, right? Speaking of things to consider, I'm considering how to fortify this area. And yeah, I think LLTs are what's up here. And might as well just send someone over in that direction, right? Might as well. If I die to air, then I'm not even going to be mad about it, but I will laugh. Just because I'm so actively choosing not to go air. So if my opponent does, then it'll really be on me for not matching that. You know what I mean? Now, I don't understand what's going on with you. Must be because I hit Q and it accidentally selected that guy, would be my guess. Let's get some more of these. Let's do, like, a real turret in mid. And then also, like, after the solar finishes, I'm going to throw up a thistle over here, just because it can't hurt, right? And this is a good concave, so I don't necessarily want to walk forward, but if Cowboy pushes into me, I will feel very good about defending this position. And yeah, I mean, this is quiet. Dare I say too quiet. What do I do? What do I do with a situation like this one? I think I will throw up some more anti-air like that just for peace of mind. It's crazy that we still haven't claimed this. I mean, it's because I'm waiting for these guys to get up there, but like, just, man, you want to see these things get built, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel right to be skipping them. And if I send anything else up, it wouldn't matter. I don't know, maybe it would. I'll put you down to low priority, because I think, you know, scaling eco is actually secondary to units here. And I'll take builders out of the build queue. I think we have enough of them by now. Thankfully, at long last. And let's see. Yeah, it's just so, I don't know, man. Nothing's going on, and that has me worried. That makes me think that, like, either T2 or air
Aircraft
is for
spotted.
sure coming. Yep. I hate being right. And I'm probably going to lose a ton of solars, even though I have a ton of anti-air up, because that's just how these weak anti-air turrets work. Okay, so time to move. I don't understand how this guy got past these. That's interesting. And then you all... Oh, we're just calling GG?
Enemy commander destroyed.
Okay. Damn, dude really doesn't like
Battle
1v1s.
ended.
That's rough. Okay. Yeah, that's basically... I mean, having plasma is good if you're doing a push. Plasma is good if you're doing a hard push, but otherwise, no. Like, yeah, basically it's like what I would do and what I did do is try to get units that are either in or capable of covering all three flanks and get your income set, like I'm saying. And I mainly focused on developing this part of the map. And then once you've got that, then you can afford better units. Whereas if you go straight into the better units, then you're not going to be covering all three flanks. So you need to be basically forcing the enemy to be where you are and then implicitly covering the flanks in that way, right? Like by saying like, you know, I don't need units here because you're not going to send units here because you need your units at home. It's all hands on deck to stay alive. And so if we'd seen like a crazy like plasma rush, then that would have been good. We could do team size 2. We could do 2v2. Ah, shit. Oh, Zeeberg's in here. Cool. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Let's start, though. Shut down. Ah. Got a normies glitter lobby. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out across time of, like, the glitters gamers. Which glitters will they choose? You know what I mean? I think the new one is going to take over, but and I mean like you see like in the map list that like it's very well represented, I would say. Honestly, 3v3 here does work because you can get these. You have one start here, and then one over like there. Um, oh boy. Oh shit. Hide your pencils. With a fucking pencil. I don't remember how they say it in the movie, but you get the idea. I really want like an 8OS1 Chev to fill out this team because Zeeberg frankly needs to get sandbagged for this to be anything close to a fair game. Um, but let's see how it plays out. Yeah, we can do this. All right, we're loading in. Where does the quant want? I don't especially care.
Please choose your starting location.
That's actually a good idea. And this is going to be a really good clinic, actually, for what I was just talking about.
You've received new
Nice,
units.
dude. Let's go. Let's go. This is so strong.
You've received new units.
Nice. And I'm going to send that guy back to take those back mechs.
You've received new units. Low power. You've received new units.
I don't usually do this, so I don't really know what's optimal here, but I think this is working
You've
okay.
received new units.
I'll share this con after it's done building mechs. And yeah, I think, like, 4, maybe 5 is probably a good number to go with just to start.
You've received new units.
Although, what the hell? I'll just put it on repeat. Oh, this is good. This is good. Oh, they saw it earlier than I wanted them to. But other than that, I'm happy with this. Okay. Rovers. Good choice, actually. Now let's see what we have. Oh, not gonna get degunned any more than I have to. Oh, fuck me, man. Okay. I'm just bad at the game, though, is basically the issue. Yep, and they're both coming up to front. So we're going to turn the repeat queue back on. And we are going to use the map control we have to actually build, mexes. We're going to take that and these and these and these. And we're going to push forward again. Got to keep them busy. Yep, there's LLTs. And Zeeberg, you fucker. Not again. Not again. But we do inarguably have very good map control here. Oh, hello. Okay, wait, you're trapped actually. This is real good for us. Gotta type fast to get it in between dodging deguns and shit.
Low power.
And yeah, now you're trying to break out of containment here.
Enemy commander
There we go. That's one
destroyed.
calm down. Zeeberg gonna try to eat that wreck if at all possible, I'm sure. Oh, never got around to killing these mexes. That's actually kind of embarrassing. Let me do that now, I guess. And yeah, I don't want to be fighting under the LLTs, but I do want to kill the LLTs. So, you know, you don't have much choice, right? I'm expecting an air switch out of these guys. I think that's a reasonable guess at this point in time. I'm obviously overflowing metal. Cowboy
Metal.
can take some of that. And yeah, my resbots are kinda... what's the word? Dead. So we need more. Okay, Mace is out of Zeeburg, so that confirms at least that you're not going air yet. Yes, thank you. Good reminder. I am going to try... Oh no, Zeeburg sees me thinking about it and immediately moves to forestall that push.
You're overflowing metal.
Reading that perfectly, as I would expect from 41 OS. Now this is real nice. Let me get some rockets up, and let me boost this builder too. Cowboy Quant is basically my my ancillary metal storage here.
You've received
It's kind of a
new
funny
units.
situation to be in, but you know. Oh, wow. Or metal storage is what I meant to say. But actually, what a fucking homie. Hooking me up with both. Not just acting functionally as them, but also building them. Oh yeah, dude, and getting the anti-air. Oh man, that's always so nice. When it's like, I mean, this is basically what I would have called out that we need to do, and it's way ahead of me. Way to go, Cowboy. This is someone I really do like playing small teams with, actually.
Low power.
Now, of course, if we can clear out these mexes, that'll do a lot as far as hampering our opponent's income, which is, of course, a big win. It does feel like we're starting to balance out here, which I don't like. Zeeburg, of course, stabilizing. Yeah. We're gonna repair that. Oh yeah, and I have rockets now, so I can actually kill turrets without having to stand under them. Which is a huge lifestyle upgrade, let's say, for me. Absolutely huge fucking reclaim field here. Just unforgivable to not be getting a piece of that, you know what I mean? I gotta maintain control of it. And the unsung hero of the game will be this Geo if it comes up. Because on a no-wind map, where you're basically forced into being metal inefficient with your energy production, that is pretty much the most efficient thing you will get. And I wanna have it, you know? No, I would like to see Cowboy pushing up with the comp a lot more than this. Oh, I love building the Mexes here. That is certainly very good. Building the Air Mexes. I forgot that you can do those when you have the aircon. Excuse me. Some sort of... Yeah, we don't want to allow that to go up. And yeah, being able to reclaim this is good. It's urgently necessary, I would go so far as to say. And we have such a eco lead here that it's like not even funny. This is, yeah. It's real hard to know what to do. I mean, if Zeeberg can show me what to do in this position, then frankly, I would accept the loss and I would say thank you for teaching me. I would be so impressed that I wouldn't even mind. But I don't think that's what's going to happen today.
Destroyed.
And I feel a little bit bad for someone here. That's a noob. But
Battle
I don't
ended.
regret the strat we chose. And I mean, you can see like the sum of the resource graphs is actually pretty even. It's just about getting a strong opening, you know? And that's a nice win to be able to claim. Now, what else we got going on here? Pretty much nothing. It's a slow night, dude. It's a Sunday night. People got work in the morning. Not me, but, you know, real people. Maybe we do 3v3? That's happy. Do it. Maybe. Yeah, we can get a more balanced game here. Nice. I don't know that map, but sure. Honestly, the current map is also, like, good. Ooh. Let's do, I'll suggest doing... Where's that good one? Well, I guess I can't suggest it now if Cowboy's already... This is fine. This is a difficult map, and so it's intimidating to play it against strong players, but that'll also make it interesting, right? Yeah. It's just as I remember.
Please choose
I
your
wouldn't
starting
mind
location.
taking a real start, but I guess... I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can take mid, I guess, if Cowboy wants to give it to me. Appreciate that, actually. What a homie. But, yeah, honestly, all these starts are good. This one's nice because you got a nice path of metal you can build. This one is a little more awkward in that regard. And in mid, I'm just taking whatever I can get. But yeah, we all need to walk forward, and we all need to get turrets up in mid. And we need to not delay. Wind risk 100. That's why even bother having wind? I gotta wonder if it's gonna stay between 1 and 4 all game. Like, literally, what's the point? But, cool. I could see it being like a world building thing, you know what I mean? Now let's see. I am worried. I mean, Zeeberg and Dreamlight obviously are clan mates, and it wouldn't be inconceivable that they're in voice chat right now. And it truly would not be inconceivable that Zeeberg said, yo, these fuckers did a communism thug push on me last game. Let's mess them up. Let's show them how it's done. So we could be under a lot of pressure here. Nice to get some shouts out.
Battle started.
All right, let's focus up here. Let's get this done. My position in particular, I need to walk really far to get to any metal. So I need to walk my comm early. So that maybe is a good case for going bots over vehicles. And just spamming rockets. You know what I mean? Not starting rockets. Definitely start grunts, but like go into rocket spam after maybe 5 grunts. And for sure LLT and base. Again, because I'm walking comm so fast. I feel like that's as good a spot as any for it, right? Talero going vehicles. It's good that someone is. Just heard a noise from over there. I don't know what that was. That's a little scary. I apologize if that startled you as much as it did me. And yeah, you actually just take over on that. And then I'm going to walk my comm up and build metal.
Low power.
Yeah, real small unit counts on a map like this. You want to be careful not to build them too quick, because you got to save bank for the other stuff you need. Ooh. But like, not a lot of maps where things like radar are so necessary to think about. Or not you know what I mean, like the cost of them in particular is so insanely. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm like not in a good position right now. They're gonna kill this right as it finishes. Okay, Zeeberg's mad. I made Zeeberg mad. Let's get that reclaim. do not want to lose anything to the comm there, so we will play that one safe as can be. Now, if I can put damage on Zeeberg's comm, that's a different story. I will do that at any opportunity. Gotta be careful not to let Talero get 2v1'd here. Making sure to throw my units into the mix. Keep things interesting. I do think that grunts are actually useless here. If we're against vehicles, I am very worried about being able to hold a front line. Oh, I have no energy income. So my turrets aren't even firing, which is bad. Oh boy. I'm going to share those rockets to Cowboy, who certainly is in a position to use them. Allows me to focus on this situation over here. Ooh, that's a big run by. Okay. They're reclaiming their lost OS this game, and honestly, fair enough. It's all a big what's the word? Like an OS credit union. We're just pooling it. We're passing it around between each other. Amazing how well those things trade against grunts. Like, truly just ridiculous. That's, not what you ever want to see. Hopefully I can catch this guy on his way through. Oh, there we go. The LLT takes care of it. Ooh. And yeah, plasma bots actually are capable of playing into this, I think. With light tanks, at least. The splash damage goes a long way, and then also just the burst. Really everything about them is suited as a light tank counter.
Enemy commander
Oh, good
destroyed.
pick off there. And honestly, that reclaim on this map is huge. Can I degun? Can I degun? Please let me degun. Oh, man. Wait, I actually fucked it up and degunned the Rex as well. But at least I got the kills. I will lose my LLT there, but it's worth it.
An allied commander has died.
Oh, shit. That's bad. Good little run in. Let's see if it does anything. If it doesn't, we could really be fucked.
You're overflowing metal.
Oh wow, really? That's a weird problem to have on this map.
Low power. Getting some good damage in here.
Really nice micro out of blue. I mean, obviously expected, but still, credit where it's due. Holy shit. Oh. I look away for 1 fucking minute, dude. I look at my base for 1 dang minute. And we're out here doing this shit. I'll boost your mechs. I'll help you out with that. We're going into the heavy tanks now, which is a scary sight, and tells me it's time to get off of bots. I will turn repeat off, and I will drop this down. I'll put it a little more forward, because we can do that now. And yeah, I'm going to keep resing this res field, obviously, and I'm going to get some more bots out to help with that. But the new order of the day is going to be medium tanks. Really good defense here. Love to see it. I'm going to see if I can snipe this mechs quickly. If it's not easy, then I'm just getting back. Yep, worth it. And if I can res this whole unit field here, then we will be in good shape for a push. For a decisive push, I dare say. And then, yeah, we can stop with those. And yeah, let's have the comm repairing. I forgot that you could still... I was leaving them idle because I was like, well, we don't want to reclaim, but of course you can still repair. Stupid of me. I wonder if they're teching. I'm gonna go this way because I know this guy doesn't have a comm in the fight. And I'm going to try to pull the armies with me. Now, navigability's not that good. Oh, hey. I think I can pull this off, though. And now we can move up, right? I don't want to lose my res bots, certainly. I want to use them, not lose them.
You've received new units.
Oh, sick. My man.
You've received new units.
Dude, they both sent me con? Is that what I'm seeing here? I don't understand. Oh, he shared it to me because it was sent to his base when he already had T2. Got it. You guys go and just eat everything in sight. And then, yeah, it's 2-2 in terms of comms on the field here. Which I think is advantage us. But who knows? I mean, technically it's even, but like, I do think that we are favored in this position. If they had 3 comms, they would probably have an easier time defending. Because comms are one way that you can deal with unit asymmetry, right? You can have less forces, but more comms, and you can rely on things like clutch D-guns or like the ability to just hold a choke really reliably to make up for that unit deficit. So if they had that tool available, the 2 of them, then I'd be more worried than this. But yeah, that's GG. Whew, that was a tough one. That map is difficult, but like in a good way. You know what I mean? It's really fun. Man, tough game. Really well played by everyone. The only one on my team that didn't go T2. Yeah, that was a really solid hold. I think I'm gonna spec. We got some sec, you're just among strong players. Just the shameless self-plug. It's funny because I'm on a 5-minute delay, so I don't think Cowboy could have heard me say that. It's just aligned thinking. Oh man, this is such a good map. This is going to be really fun. This is going to be a treat to spec this one. Can't wait for these guys to get started, actually. I keep trying to vote even though I'm spec. Man, I love this map so much, actually. This is like definitely the best new map in a while. Plays good 1v1 or 3v3 or even like 5v5. You gotta have an odd number of players because it's got that like bilateral symmetry. Well, not quite, but like, you know what I mean. It's got 3 starts basically, and it's got 2 half starts. And so it's like divvying up 3 starts between 2 players or any even number of players is kind of awkward. But yeah, you can see like here, here, and here are the good starts, and then like over here and over here, you can kind of make it work. You probably walk forward quickly. But yeah, 3v3 on here, and we got Fiddler, 112. We got Nobi. We got Zeeberg. We got Talero. We got Cannibal, and we got the Meat Hammer. There's a there's a fucking tweet I saw like years and years ago. It was a picture of like a like a Hatteras shirt or something, and it said you had me at coffee, you know, like you had me at such and such, and it was coffee, but the kerning was fucked up, and there was like, it looked like a space was missing, and so it just looked like it said you had meat coffee, which is like the most fucking disgusting, unsettling thing I can imagine. And whenever I see this guy, the Meat Hammer, it's like it makes me think of that. Like, you had me at hammer, you had Meat Hammer. I don't know. You know, I always thought this map was symmetrical, but now that I'm looking at it, it's obviously not. Did they change it? I thought there was like a big crater in the middle, and it was kind of symmetrical around that. V1.02, I think they must have. reworked it a little bit just to make mid less like, yeah, because it was hard to engage in mid, and it was the thing kind of like that that one map Isidis Crack, where there's like, if you commit to one side, then you're just gonna get pushed on the other. And now this is much easier to like rotate through mid and like push over here and then swing around this way if you need to, or vice versa. So anyway, let's focus up here. We got Zeeberg and Talero holding down the corners, and we got Cannibal in mid here. Similarly over here, Nobi and Fiddler taking the corners, the Meat Hammer in mid. This, I think, is a really strong, solid way to play, and it's nice that it's mirrored by both sides, because that's really going to prevent the game from reaching like a fast, degenerate failure state, basically. Not to get too technical with it. But yeah, we got Bot Lab, and Vehicle Plant coming out there. Bot Lab, Vehicle Plant, and Bot Lab here. This is another no-wind map, and that's a lot of Cortex commanders on the field. We got one Armada over there in the middle. But yeah, Cortex, I believe it's even, yeah, dare I say, 5 Cortex commanders. And the Meat Hammer, our sole arm representative. Cortex makes a lot of sense, of course, on a no-wind map. Just because they have cheaper solars, and because you don't need to worry about the cheaper winds that ARM gets. Those aren't really relevant. So, yeah, strong pick here, obviously. Oh, that's a really funny way of doing things. I've never seen this before. You could, like, write a whole message like that. I wonder if we're putting anything back here later. This looks really, really funny. Okay, so what's the queue here? Got a Mex. That looks like a normal LLT. Then a radar behind it, and then we just go in lines like this. This is really fun. Oh, Fiddler. No, just wait. I really want to watch this game. I'm like, I'll be upset if this stops. Oh, Cannibal dropped.
Battle ended.
Man, I was just getting into this. Well, oh well. Damn. Latest AMD update is unstable, they say. That's unfortunate. 2024 drivers. Dang. I mean, that probably would work, actually, but what a time to be alive. What does the world come to when that's the solution here? Now, we need someone to jump in here. If it's me, then we end up with unbalanced teams. And I don't know if I would get on the good side or the bad side. And I don't especially want to roll the dice. So I'm going to hope that someone who's around the Meat Hammers level jumps in, because that would actually be a more balanced game. But let's see how it plays out. This is the unfortunate part of Bar. Is that sometimes you're just waiting for, frankly, quite a while. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Yeah, I actually will report that, to be honest with you. Oh, Cannibal with the wholesome follow-up. I do love that. Hey. Right on, right on. Absolute king shit. Now let me, yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to vote on that. I can't, but yeah. Chat. I don't know if this can. It's not bullying. It's not quite hate speech. if the action took place in the lobby, select the match it took place before. Lobby. Told someone to beat their wife over broken GPU drivers. What the actual heck is wrong with this guy? LOL. Submit report. All right, and we're about to start here. Cannibal is rolling back drivers and will come back in a little bit, so we don't have to worry about that. We can potentially get a reinstated version of that match that we unfortunately had to cut short. But in the meantime, let's see a 2v2 between some actual heavyweights. I mean, this is like, I think the better you get at a game, the more of a treat it is to watch people who are even better than you. Like, I'm just sort of over under the threshold of the top 100 in Small Teams OS. I'm not sure if I'm currently on the leaderboard, but I was on there a couple days ago, hit it for the first time. And, you know, I'm kind of hovering around that level. And so, like, I'm certainly not bad, but, like, these folks definitely are all stronger than I am. And yeah, these are all top 100 folks for sure. And so this will be a treat. This is like no slouches in this lobby. Stacked game, let's go. Try to get some spec chat going, if anyone's game for it. Fiddler is expecting a communism strat. In fact, that is not what's happening, but it's a good thing to be conscious of the possibility of.
Battle started.
Of course, as soon as they scout, they'll be able to roll that out, which should happen pretty quickly. I'd imagine some rovers, most likely, will be making their way across the map before too long here. Yeah, well, once again, Cortex, and Armada from Talaro. Quite surprising. Nobi likes to rush. So let's keep an eye on how Nobi is playing this. This radar before lab, I have done this as well sometimes. I never know if it's good, to be honest with you. I think it might actually really suck. Because it's like, what are you going to do with that information? I do it too, though, so I can't judge too much. It's just nice to know sometimes. It gives you peace of mind, if nothing else. I will say that. Now, meanwhile, over here, Zeeberg, because it's like you don't need radar up before they've started building their unit production facility. You know what I mean? This just finished. Like, it's just starting the first Gonbot. So, like, I don't know. And it'll be fun to see. Like, I wish you could like look at the actual build queue, because I see the numbers here, but I want to see like what's the ordering. And like, sometimes I've wished for that as a player, but not a ton, because frankly it's really easy to edit the queue. But like as a spectator, you're like, okay, obviously you want cons and you want pawns, but what's the ordering on that? You know what I mean? It would be nice to get more detail there. Anyway, first ticks coming out across the map. Rascals as well. Rascals on both sides over there. Rascals over here as well. We got 3 vehicle openers. 1 bot opener. So Talaro, doubly the outlier here, going ARM and going bots. So that's fun, you know. Keeps the game a little bit more fresh, a little bit more spicy. I do like it. Now, of course, if anyone was wondering, we are broadcasting on a 5-minute delay here on the Sweaty Fish stream. This is not exactly live, and that's for competitive integrity. Now, granted, there's still a lot that you can find out with a 5-minute delayed stream if you're like looking for I don't know, a nuke target, something of that nature. But I don't think that's going to come into play here. So, yeah, let's just watch this game and enjoy it. And this is basically the same queue we saw last time around from Zeeberg, except now there's no radar included in it. But I do really vibe on these diagonal lines. I think it looks fun. I feel like, I mean, maybe it protects this Mex. I'd believe it, you know? Like, I feel like if that was the, really explicitly the goal, then maybe they'd be over here too. Maybe that's too vulnerable, I don't know. I've definitely seen people use these similar to walls, where it's like trying to slow down flank angles. I think it's maybe a little bit wasteful for that, because it's like an order of magnitude more expensive than a wall. You know, 8 metal versus 150. But I guess, well, actually, to be fair, it'd be like, you know, maybe like 3 or 4 walls to cover the same. Yeah, probably 3 walls to cover that same area. So that's 8, 16, 24 metal. Not quite as bad. That's, you can do the math on that one if you feel like it. I'm not going to do that on stream. I got bar to watch. But yeah, we got pawns coming out of yellow here. We got the Toucans. I like sending Toucans out for expanding on a map like this. A map where you have more space than people. I think double con makes a lot of sense because all your defensive buildings are going to come up twice as fast. And literally everything's going to come up twice as fast. Maybe it's obvious, but like, it does, to me, make a lot of sense to double that up there. Just because it's less risky, basically. And yeah, these pawns here, getting in range of the incisor, they are going to be able to DPS it down. Pawns have good DPS as soon as they're actually in a position to use it. And this play here of just coming between the players and then deciding which way you're going to go, this really is how you play a map of this size. Or maybe, I mean, it's not just size, but it's like density, player density. Is that how I want to call it? Yeah, we can say that. And you see a similar thing coming out from Fiddler here. Going for this. And let's take stock of what each player knows. Yeah, the radar does not cover mid. So this is going to be a nasty surprise. And in fact, this is really well timed. This is intentional from Yellow to be pushing at the front at the same time in order to pull the units towards the front and away from this. This, for sure you need to be taking out metal spots with this. I would have sent one guy over here for that exact reason. This could perhaps end up doing less than it was destined to do, which would be unfortunate if so. But yeah, 2 mexes go down. Oh, get the third one, dude. Get the third mex. No. Could have done more. Just getting good power is good too. There's is 31.7. Yeah, that's the thing, basically, is that the downside is minimal. You're not leaving much in the way of Rex. So, in that sense, I don't think it's feeding. It's just like, it's getting less than you could have, rather than, like, making a donation. You know what I mean? Which is similar, but it's an important distinction. Now, the Pounder out here, I think it does do friendly fire, so you gotta be careful about that. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. But still does clean that up, no problem. And there is, you know, a couple hundred wreckage left over to make up for the damages incurred. Incisors greater than bot. That is true. That is pretty true. Basically, constant aggression is what you need on paper to make this work. Like, that's the theory craft of it. But, oh, look at this. Self-destructing the turret, dude. But it does die before it gets self-destructed. I believe that they have a bigger explosion radius when they self-destruct. So it could have wiped all these guys out because they were all standing very close to it. That is something that you almost never see unless you're watching, like, really high-level players. Pretty much no one tries to use that trick. And it's one, I mean, I never even do it, but, like, it's a fun one to see. Now, the rockets over here, I don't hate it. I don't love walking your cons into the turret. That maybe, we can say suboptimal. We can say that is not ideal. This is really nasty. This little, yeah, and this is basically the issue, right? is that it's so hard to cover all this ground, especially with bots. You're basically needing to be constantly aggressive, like I was saying, because if you let up on that aggression, this happens. You know, if the enemy units are free to go where they want, they're just going to walk into your base, and you're going to have to stand and fight, and you're going to have a hard time doing that. Taking out that mech's super painful, especially after that one also goes down. Talaro potentially in line for a good D-gun here. Really low on energy, actually. Ooh, that might be... Is Talaro lagging? That really was... I mean, it must have been a misclick, right? These guys, both quite low, these tanks, but of course they still do the same amount of damage no matter what their health is until they die. So, doing a good job killing another mechs, closing these wins up here. Excuse me, these solars. Nice solar micro. Yeah, not losing a single solar. Now this is shaping up to be a really, really back and forth dicey game. This is like super aggressive all around, which is frankly what I was hoping for. And this is the sort of thing, this is why I didn't want to play this one, is that this is extraordinarily stressful to try to play this style of game, but watching it, in my opinion, is super, super fun. So I was very eager to be on the spec list for this one. Yeah, this is good, but I think... Well, I wonder. Yeah, the tanks are going to have a hard time catching up to this. I'm pretty sure you can outpace them. That's speed of 86 versus 73, as long as you go in a straight line. And don't do that. Yeah, if you do that, then you're just going to die, because you're going to get hit with plasma shells from those medium tanks. So that was a feed. This, I will actually say from green, was a bit of a feed. Sorry, Nobi. Now over here, what do we got going on with this? Blue moving in. Good push of tanks. And yeah, once again, once the pressure's off of Fiddler, this is what happens. Talaro doing some... What the fuck? I wonder what's going on there. Huh. That's not the first time this game that's happened. Yeah. Lab, I guess. This is about to turn into a 1v2, I fear. Talaro. You know, looking at the OS, you would expect Nobi to be the one who goes down, but that's not how it's playing out here. Talaro does fold. The one Armada player, the one bot player. Maybe there's a reason that everyone else built something else. That is really bizarre. I hope that they get that figured out. In the meantime, Fiddler moving on up with the comm here is going to have a very easy time just pushing on in LLTs as you go. Not a bad idea. You don't want to get swarmed with the comm. This is an easy way to make sure you have something to fall back on. And just building them in a straight line towards the reclaim fields. This is, you know, just 2.2k metal there, 915 over here. So between them, that's, you know, that's a T2 lab and then some. So you definitely want to get that reclaim secured as fast as possible. And of course, all these players are on vehicles, so it's commanders only for reclaim. So Fiddler is, of course, in a well, commanders and con vehicles, I should say. Which obviously we have Zeeberg queued up to do precisely that, but Fiddler, I think, was going to beat to it. And meanwhile, we have skirmishing going on. I think, personally, I'm always looking for when am I going to get onto brutes, right? Like, I don't want to be sitting on incisors for too long, too late in the game. Not that they're bad, that's just not me. And so I feel like I like Zeeberg's position here better in terms of getting those units up. That being said, when you're put in a 1v2 position, this suddenly becomes really, really nasty. Because these are slower. And not only slower, but you're going to have a lower count of them. Oh, look at it, look at it. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Oh, the transports. I want to see what that's for. Maybe that's for building, moving cons around? Con turrets? I don't know. Talero did good for a while there. Definitely made some curious choices, like right at the beginning of the game. But, you know. Okay, now this is where this gets interesting. I think that we're going to see this wall get bursted down and destroyed manually. Let's see how long that takes. But as soon as this... Man, Nobi, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, bud? I guess trying to avoid taking splash damage after firing. Yeah, there we go. And this will not take very long to break through that. And then it's a question of, what do you do next? Because, are we aware of this? Oh, we're about to be. I mean, I guess you hear it, right? But, yeah. Nobi, do we have anti-air up yet? We're building missile trucks now, 100 of them, in fact. Over here, Fiddler, we're getting fighters out. Also a great reaction. So this, you could call it a desperation play. Oh my god, dropping pounders. What a goofy strat. I don't hate it. It's gonna run into fighters, unfortunately. But definitely one of those sort of fun things that you might do when you know the game is over. And you're just trying to have a goof with it. Yeah, they do get shot down. That's unfortunate. And these guys are gonna run in and tear Zeeberg limb from limb. Shurikens, too little too late. If there were maybe 50 more of them, that would be the right idea. And, yeah, there we go. The resign button is pressed. Fiddler and Nobi get the work done. Well played all around. We'll look at the graphs here. Yeah, Fiddler absolutely dominant on the eco graph, and that's what comes from being basically uncontested. And that's a combination of things, right? Because part of it was the choice to go boss. Part of it was also Fiddler's really good, I didn't know you could drag that, really good coverage of all these choke points. This one had LLTs as well for a while. But basically all of this was locked down really, really solidly, which meant that, you know, pawn pushes would have a hard time going straight through. And that in turn means that as long as you have radar coverage in this region, you can get away with a good bit of greed at home, which of course is what we see. This is quite a few solars here. And obviously the mechs as well. I like the exploiters. I know this is a more controversial decision. Personally, it's definitely something that I appreciate. I don't necessarily know about building two of them side by side, but I guess it does do twice as much damage, to be fair. Definitely a fun play. And yeah, so really good job by Fiddler, basically taking the advantage that was given, making the utmost of it, and bringing that game home while everyone else just sort of keeps things stable and allows that to play out. Yeah, I would agree that Pawns versus Incisors was pretty rough. That is not the map where I will choose arm bots. TBH. If we get another one going soon, then I'll spec that too. Otherwise, we're just gonna call it a day here. This has been fun. This has been a good one, honestly. And Incisors, it's true, yeah. They are very good against bots. What a weird map this is. It's not even close to symmetrical. It's just like, it's honestly, I think it's pretty unbalanced. Like, what is this from, dude? Whose idea was it to make this map and put it in the game? It actually is pretty fun to play, but it's just not balanced. Like, there's a huge asymmetry of metal, I believe. I don't remember the details, but I remember getting annoyed at it last time I played it. Now this, on the other hand, this is going to be a knife fight, and I am here for it. This is going to be really fun to watch. This will be, yeah, this is going to be the last one, because this is a great one to go out on. Anyone who's afraid of small maps and small teams, this will validate your fear, because this is about to be a fucking knife fight, but personally, I can't wait to see it. As we load in here. Oh, and I see on YouTube, I got one person watching right now, so whoever you are, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. I don't really read chat while I'm gaming, because I don't have a good way to watch it, and also because I'm on a 5-minute delay here, so it wouldn't really I mean, it's hard to have a conversation like that, basically. But whoever you are, I do appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and let's watch some good games here. Now this map, as you can see, I guess I'll break it down really quick. Incredibly small. Truly, truly, your opponent's base is closer than most maps' front lines are. And so it's extraordinarily difficult, to put it bluntly. Getting your comm up fast could not be more important. Securing the metal in mid could not be more important. Good metal reclaim also, all over the place. So a strong map to start bots on, get that energy, get that metal. These hills, vehicles cannot traverse, I believe. I actually had a game once where I didn't know that, and I built a vehicle lab on the high ground, and then ended up winning with artillery that was up here, because the other team just fucking AFK'd and walked a comm into range. I was like, truly the dumbest way to win a map. Like, I've got artillery that are penned in, can't go anywhere, and they somehow still got the comm kill. It's one of those things you almost feel bad for winning, but that's the level of play that I was at maybe a year ago. Certainly nothing like that coming from these folks right here, right now. This is going to be fun. We got Zeeberg and Talero still in here. We got Durza supping in, who was in Spec Chat last game. And then we got Cannibal, Sneaky, and Volos. A little bit lower OS this time around, but Zeeberg and Talero obviously still heavyweights. And, I mean, there's certainly no one to sneeze at. Cannibal, we've also seen can play at a serviceable level. Zeeberg starting in mid, Talero starting on the side. Interesting asymmetry there. I do think, frankly, that the sides are the carry spots here, because these side mechs clusters are so much more impactful than the one mechs that you're going to be fighting over and rebuilding in mid as either side. That being said, maybe Zeeberg can show me the way. I don't know. That would be cool if so. We got 2 bot labs, 1 vehicle lab coming out from this side, and we're looking at Armada, 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 which makes a lot of sense considering this is a map with a wind speed average of 20, which I had actually completely forgotten about, and perhaps so did Cannibal. But Zeeberg and Sneaky clearly did get the memo. Absolutely nutty wind map. This is one of those, yeah, basically, you scale for free. You get all the energy you need. You will be overflowing. You will be wasting. And it's, like, not even difficult. It's effortless, basically. Which is just conducive to making the map even more of a knockdown, drag-out, knife fight brawl. This is going to be really, really fun. These guys are getting around here. This pawn is not able to catch them in time. Pawn's a little bit less good at catching ticks than grunts are because they don't have a laser. Ticks going into mid over here as well from Zeeberg. This is, I guess, the case you could make. Nice micro on that, using the winds to block Zeeberg's comms line of sight, but does not get the mechs in the end. Over here, that's actually very surprising that Volos' comm isn't firing on this. I feel like there's, I don't know, for all the micro tricks I know, sometimes I see shit where I'm like, why is that happening? What the fuck? How? You know, there's little esoteric shit that these pro level players know that you do sometimes wish you could sit them down and just be like, teach me. But and actually a lot of them are very down for that. I just don't seek it out. Not my style as much. Volos needs to get some units in queue. That is urgent. Zeeberg getting that early Centurion out. Centurion's really, really nice to have, especially in a small choke point like this, and especially when you expect to be running into comms. Because obviously, on the one hand, they can get D-gunned very easily and then they die. On the other hand, they actually outrange D-gun, so they can sort of force a comm back if you micro them perfectly. So for a strong player like Zeeberg, a strong choice of unit that I do think will pay dividends here. Now, Volos very, very obviously is not equipped to handle the aggression that's going to be coming forward. And we do see Zeeberg taking that first mix and popping up a radar very confidently. No LLTs, no nothing. In a different game, you might see LLTs getting placed down in mid, trying to secure this reclaim and all that shit. Trying to prevent... I mean, if you can lock this down and then, like, lock just forward of mid down, then you can get both mexes pretty safely. Now, we might see a comm trade here. This is that classic funky little duel. Notice both of them, neither of them are actually fully body blocking. And yeah, there's a really good shot, actually, to take advantage of that. Cannibal will die here now with these pawns in play. Oh, wow. Amazing D-gun, actually. I think... Was that a Centurion? I think it was. And Cannibal gets away alive at 7% HP. So, incredible play, but please do not press your luck, my friend. You are lucky to be alive. Durza moving up on the side here, D-gunning everything in sight. Getting that con bot is really, really brutal. Just so expensive to get another one of those up at this point of the game when you really need units. And that's the kind of thing that can slow down your scaling so much. Getting up this turret as well, locks off this high ground, and now I would put a second turret, frankly. But I guess maybe the reclaim is a higher priority. And you can expect to see these high ground mexes taken without delay. Similarly, Talaro over here doing the symmetrically mirrored thing. Zeeberg fearlessly walking into Janices and degunning them. I do like this play a lot. I think, if anything, Zeeberg is underestimating how much of an advantage they have over Volos here. And could be going up even further. I wouldn't hate to see the lab degunned, but I guess maybe it would be a little bit crazy to assume, apropos of nothing, that that would be possible. That's something that, you know, as the spec, it's easier to, you know, make these judgments. Now, keeping these Centurions alive at incredibly low health and bringing up a resbot to repair them, actually skipping past the reclaim on the map in order to prioritize the repairs. I like that a lot. I think that's a correct move. Zeeberg getting a friendly rocket shot as well. Ooh, the comm could go down here to these pawns, and that would be a tremendous reclaim if that happens. Let's see. Centurions were trying to screen for it, but they're just not going to get it done. So this, you don't walk away from that, my friend. You walk towards that. You walk towards that, you press E, and you do that. Okay? Let's just, that's bar 101 right there. I know you're 19 OS. I know you're 4 Chev. I'm not gonna be hard on you for it, but, like, yeah, you gotta prioritize that. And you also definitely would be well advised to share that medal with the higher OS teammates on your team. Yeah, let Durza cook. Let Talaro cook. Cannibal doing a nice job here, playing that little micro mini game. Yeah, repaired thugs are actually super strong. Thugs repair at a fairly fast rate, and there's a lot of fights that they can, like, either win or break even in where you would not expect them to do so. And this is one such example, is that, like, you wouldn't think versus Centurions that they would be this viable. Or maybe you would, but I wouldn't. But they're making it work. Of course, when the Centurion is also repaired, then it's a slightly dicier situation. And Cannibal did have a gap in repairs there. I would actually expect to see Talaro push through pretty soon here, but maybe they're just sitting on their eco advantage. I don't know. Zeeberg getting this resbot far behind enemy lines here, and getting that reclaim. Well done. The sort of thing that you really should not get away with, but if you know you're up against a weaker player, why not go for it? I mean, frankly, why not go for it in any circumstance, but especially under those circumstances. This nearly went down, that Centurion, but it is back up. It'll be fine. And we see units coming in through mid. 2 Rocketeers doing a surprising amount of work out of Zeeberg here. Zeeberg presumably just playing their little heart out after those last few games. Zeeberg has had some rough losses in this session, and my heart goes out to you, bud. And I do want to see you win this one. This is pretty fun to watch. Trying to help out against Talaro as well, backing up Cannibal, sensing, perhaps, similarly to how I did, that this is a potential weak spot. Surprising to me that this medal has not been built. This one right here, you can edge build that, I believe, with pretty much anything. And if you're holding this line, right, then why not take it? That's 2.8 metal per second on this map. That's a lot. Big ol' push coming through here. I don't know if this is going to be as impactful as they're hoping for. Too many LLTs to make it viable. And meanwhile,
Has
ooh,
died.
that is a big pickoff there. That is a big one. And Cannibal calls GG. Yeah, Talero is going to have a hard time getting stopped here. I don't like the resign vote, I gotta be honest with you. Make him work for it. Make him walk to your base. Give it a try. You know, especially when you're on a team with stronger players. You know, you don't know if they have something in the bag. In this case, they probably don't. But, like, you don't know if they have some play that they're waiting to make that that could turn things around. In this case, I think it's actually, yeah, it is probably, like, given the omniscient spectator view, I can say with confidence that it's time to resign, but I think that for them, they ought to force the other team to prove it. And yeah, I think a lot of this comes down to losing one comm, now losing two. And, I mean, frankly, it's hard to fit into a narrative because so much of it is like minor micro skirmishes, you know? Little micro battles, which are so fun to watch, but they're kind of hard to narrativize. But yeah, very fun to watch, and what a good game. I do like this map. I hate playing it, I like watching it. Edge building, this LLT, that's so funny. That's really, that's a 40 OS move. You know, that's one that you would expect the Zeebergs of the world to be doing. Well done there. Gunships coming out from the aircraft plant here. Not a bad choice, but it's going to be too little too late. And yeah, there's the resign. There's the res vote.
Has died.
Well played. Really well played all around. And Volos in
Battle
particular not
ended.
dying in mid. I mean, coming incredibly close to dying, but not quite dying is something that I will call out as a big win. We also see some really nice scaling going on here that that certainly contributed as well. And if you look at metal produced, my god, look at that jump. That's when that Comrec got 8. And then presumably this is also a reclaimed field getting taken in. And so this, if you ever doubt the power of Reclaim, look at these jumps, right? Because this is literally what decided this game, is these skirmishes and then the follow-up to the skirmishes of trying to reclaim and redeploy the resources involved. So yeah, really well done all around. And with that, I think we are going to call this stream. We're going to call it a night here. That's been almost a couple hours. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. Catch you later.